Vietnam vacation series on Digipriths. I'm here at the Bangalore airport at around 2 pm in the afternoon. Decided to wait over at the lounge and have some delicious food before our long flight. I'm here on a personal vacation with my two best friends from college. They had complimentary access to the lounge and we managed to have a great spread at the buffet and we were pretty full at this point in time and just look at me trying to ignore the camera and still eat. We had a trip planned from like 6 years ago to go to Goa, which never happened. But here we are flying to Vietnam after multiple turbulences. I have to say this is the second flight we had to book because our previous flight vendor, Vietjet, decided to cancel our flights last minute and did not inform us about it. And they haven't even refunded our money yet. So one big learning and recommendation to not fly through Vietjet because their website, app, customer support is not at all reliable. Best is to go through Indigo even though it's slightly expensive than the other airlines. We kickstarted our journey at Bangalore and had a connecting flight which we had to take at Calcutta. So our total flight journey was for about like 8 hours including the stop at Calcutta. I decided to sit down and watch a movie in the flight for the first 3 hours of the journey. After our pit stop at Calcutta, which was for about 1 hour only, we rushed for our immigration and stepped into our connecting flight to Ho Chi Minh City. Our vacation was for 10 days, but it had to be cut short since we had to switch both our onboard and return flights last minute, due to which we had lesser daytime to go around. We are going to be covering 4 cities through Vietnam, and each city is going to be a separate vlog as part of the series. This was something very peculiar which I noticed. I'm usually used to seeing like yellow or orange nightlights from up above, but for Vietnam specifically, it's so colorful, ranging from like red, yellow, orange, and green. I understood this once I landed in Vietnam because it indeed is so colorful. As soon as we got down, we purchased a SIM card and got some currency exchange. The shops are open typically 24/7, so don't be blown away by a guy who's standing right outside your baggage counter. We then booked a Gojek cab to our hotel. The little currency we exchanged was to pay for the cab and hotel only. Here's a quick sneak peek of the hotel we stayed in for 3 nights. Nothing fancy because we were spending most of our time exploring the city. We had about 6 hours of sleep and then we got up and got ready to kickstart our day here. Our plan was to spend 2 days in Ho Chi Minh City, erstwhile Saigon, to explore the city on day 1 and also the walking street. And for day 2, we had completely set it aside for Coochie Tunnels, which was almost like 2 hours away from the city and then followed by shopping. We didn't do the Mekong Delta tour due to paucity of time. Welcome to Ho Chi Minh City. It's day 1 here. Just got up after the whole late night flight. I don't know if my audio is working, but nevertheless, we are trying to go and find a good breakfast place. Motorbikes or scooters are the most prevalent mode of transportation here. You will notice bike taxis around you everywhere and it is very easily accessible. We decided to stop by at a nearby hotel selling the most famous pho, which is considered as Vietnam's national dish. It's basically a soup dish consisting of broth, rice noodles, and meat. After having breakfast, we took a cab to the War Museum as a first stop while we were trying to find the pickup location for the hop-on, hop-off city bus tour. The entry tickets are priced at 40,000 VND per person, which is approximately 130 rupees. Basically, the museum consists of a collection of research and stores and preserves the material, photographs, artifacts on the evidence of the type of crime and consequences of the war that the invasion force had caused to Vietnam. This is something we learned in our history class back in school about the Vietnam War, and to see it in person was something different altogether, I must say. I loved the golden hour look on my skin, but trust me, it's super hot and humid here. Just got done visiting the War Museum. They're not letting me vlog. Okay, so just got done with the War Museum. We were supposed to get on to the hop-on, hop-off bus tour, city bus tour basically. Wow, I'm covering the camera from that time. So we were supposed to go on that bus tour, but we are not able to find the pickup spot or a counter to buy that ticket. And it was really confusing. We went online as well, but we thought now let's just take
like a motorbike, and then take it in our own leisure because it is super hot and humid, so you're feeling like constantly thirsty and you're tired already. So we thought we'll take it at our own pace rather than going on that bus tour. So keep you posted how that goes.
Okay, quick status update. We managed to get into the city bus store. We were just walking back to our hotel and we found the city bus store and just waved at them. They were so sweet enough to just stop for us. So we got in and we got our tickets and now we're on our way. So I'll share what's going up next. The tickets were about 180k VND per person, roughly 600 rupees. We are currently in transit to our next stop. This is what the bus looks like from the outside. It's a double-decker bus and we decided to sit on the top to get a better view. They take you around the most iconic locations of the city and you can hop off at locations of your choice and jump into the next bus to the next stop with the same ticket, and every bus runs for 30 minutes each. We were given earphones to listen to an audio tour of each place they were taking us around, and it was available in multiple languages for us to listen to. I honestly love this bus tour because I got to see a different side of the city than where we were staying at, and this is the Saigon River you're seeing right now on the screen. This guided tour helped us get accustomed to the place and understand how things work here, and then we could, of course, go out on our own and decide what we want to see. I then decided to step outside from the AC seats and move to the open space seaters to get a better view of the city landscape. We then got down at downtown Ho Chi Minh City for some shopping. We saw the likes of H&M, Chanel, Dior, LV and other branded stores. You can walk to Saigon Square for other affordable options too. Late evening, we rented a scooter for the following day tour to Kuchi Tunnels. Our hotel was located right around the walking street, which is one of the most popular night out places like food streets. It has loud music, lights, and vendors approaching you every minute to eat at their restaurant. You will find people dancing and enjoying the night away on these streets. Here is a better view of this place. It's mostly filled with tourists and some locals as well, enjoying their evening drinks and some good food. You will also notice a lot of these fire acts all along the walking street. We had dinner at one of the places on the street, I don't recollect much, and then stepped out on our scooter to get some food essentials at the nearest 7-Eleven place ahead of our long drive to Kochi Tunnels tomorrow.
Welcome to day 2 of Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, so now we are headed off for, I keep covering the camera every now and then. Okay, so now we are going to have breakfast at a nearby restaurant. We're still at the same hotel that we stayed at yesterday. It's a pretty good location, so I'll leave a link in the description down below. But next to the outfit, today we're going to Kuchi Tunnels, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Breakfast for day 2, pho again for my friend, and I had ordered a grilled sandwich for a change. Their flavors are really mild mostly, and if required, they give you condiments to add to your dish to make it extra flavorful per your choice. Look at me dancing while I wait for my dish to arrive so I can also have breakfast, but then wait for the surprise. Look at my grilled sandwich. I was taken aback completely when I saw this, and I was a bit disappointed as well because this is just bread toasted in butter and there were like 2 slices of cucumber and 2 tomatoes in between, and that was it. Anyways, I had to eat it as is, and this was like 40k BND. We then zipped through the city for about 56 kilometers to get to Kochi Tunnels. The ride was for about close to 2 hours or more since we took breaks in between for hydration. I'm of course the pillion rider here and taking care of just navigating through Google Maps. We then got to Kochi Tunnels and purchased the tickets, and it was priced at around 125k BND, which is approximately 410 rupees. You need to walk quite a bit to get to the tour section, or you can pay 10k dong and hitch a buggy ride to the tour entrance, but I would recommend walking because there are a lot of scenic and beautiful places to take pictures at.
It is super hot and humid right now, and I'm profusely sweating, and I'm regretting not bringing an umbrella, a cap, and like a hand fan. I did have it. I got it from Singapore, but I didn't bring it. but it's super super hot, so if you're coming here, definitely essentials if you don't want to get tanned, and of course sunscreen, which I'm sure it's like worn off by now. But yes, we are here at Kochi tunnels and we are trying to figure out the entrance, so I'll keep you posted when we get there.
As you walk towards the entrance, you will find remains of the war from like 50 years ago kept outside openly for display, and you can read through it as well.
Their little Saigon, the small girl who lost her father, and in her a hatred, a want.
Levels. The first one is about 3 meters deep, including a lot of rooms, shelters under the ground. Level 2, 6 meters, okay? And the third one, 8 up to 12 meters deep. This one for meeting, meeting room, dining room, also kitchen, with a very unique stove for cooking. So for this one, the BC, the cook, the smoke, it doesn't escape directly from the room here to the...
He then took us around the whole area and showed us all the tunnels and took us through some of them as well. I knew it would be dark, so I tried to take a time lapse as I walked along, but yeah, lol, bad idea. But it was extremely tiny place that I had to come out of. Next one that we are going to head to is the most iconic place where a lot of people make videos and take photos of, which is basically a tunnel for one person only to go from one side and come out from another. But then I just didn't want to do that, so I went ahead to completely go inside from one side and come out from there itself, just to understand like the depth and how small this space is. Clearly the barrel above was really heavy and I needed help with lifting it up, but hats off to the Vietnamese people for building this out and fighting so intelligently, I must say. We couldn't stop laughing because this wasn't the plan that we had in mind, but regardless, it's done. There is even a place where they would treat the injured soldiers, and they had very limited space for this, and it's just astonishing how everything was done in like such a small space. They dug it up as well. Inside this tunnel, there is a meeting room where they would discuss their tactics. I didn't go in, but the rest of the group did, and then we followed our tour guide, of course, to the last tunnel. Our tour guide Thang was the sweetest and so patient. He explained everything so well. As I went behind him, I requested if he could say hi to my vlog too, and he was kind enough to do so.
Sorry?
Can you turn back and say hi?
Hi!
We were then treated with some tapioca and groundnut salt powder dip. It was really good and a much needed snack after all the walking we did today. We even got some lemon soda flavored Mirinda and it was delicious.
Okay, so we're done with the Kochi tunnel tour and it was amazing. It's definitely a must visit place if you're coming to Ho Chi Minh. You'll learn so much about how hard the Vietnamese soldiers and just the people here have just worked so hard in just digging up this tunnel for over 20 years. Not through machines, not through anything else, just through their bare hands, and that is something commendable. So you should definitely visit here, and our guide was so sweet and nice and very helpful. I'll leave his name on the screen. I'll leave his name on the screen as well for you all to see, and maybe once you come here you should ask for him as well. So yes, we'll keep you posted on what's next.
We then stopped by to have some chocolate flavored bubble tea at this hotel, and then it started raining a bit while we were going back to the hotel, so we got some raincoats to cover ourselves so we don't fall sick during our own trip. We exchanged currency at a jewelry store because they give you the best rates more than normal exchange shops. Tip right there. We then indulged in some street shopping nearby for a while and checked out the market, and then found a Pizza Hut nearby, so had dinner there. We on our way noticed this very cute exhibition, so we went to explore it and found so many cute kids playing and dancing around, so realized it was not for us and then went back. We then went out to purchase some more water and called it a night because we have an early morning flight to Da Nang tomorrow. Look forward to the next vlog to share more. See ya!